Alright, we're 3 for 3 on die rolls today. We've got a pretty solid hand here. A couple different options depending on what he's doing. I'm going to start things off with a nice little Rampager, get ourselves an energy. So next turn we can either just play it again and have it stick around, or get Siphoner going. Sunscorched Desert. It's an interesting turn 1 play. So against mono red, probably want to just get the Rampager out first, because that's going to be harder for him to kill. And drawing cards with Siphoner is not as powerful in this matchup. I wonder if that tells me anything that he played Sunscorched Desert turn 1 rather than a mountain. Wonder if he's tight on mana or if he's just trying to confuse me. Okay, so Winding Constrictor is actually an interesting draw. I might actually just play that instead. It's likely going to get killed, but this way we get much better options next turn. We get to play 2 spells, guaranteed. Does have a mountain. I didn't actually think he was going to be screwed on red mana. Just kind of interesting sequencing. But if he has like 2 or 3 mountains in hand, it's whatever. Not a bad card. Let's play Siphoner and Rampager. I'm not going to hold up defense just yet, because I don't care enough about saving my Siphoner, and he's very unlikely to be able to kill this Rampager. Rather just get on the board as quickly as possible. Rampaging Frostodon, alright. Now he can't do anything. Can't draw a card just yet. Okay, not bad. I'm gonna have to lose a life here. Don't have a way to answer that Frostodon just yet. It's equal to all energy abilities, I guess. Not gonna send with the Rampager just yet. Even though I will need to put some pressure on him eventually. I think this turn we want to wait until we have some better blockers back in addition to the Rampager. And I didn't really feel like trading a Siphoner for just a Bowmat Courier. Camera's fine. So that happens. Second Kenra. Alright, that one I'm going to have to not let happen. I'm going to have to Blossoming Defense this Siphoner, unfortunately. Which will prevent him from attacking, at least. Most likely. He sends with everything. Yeah, I figured he wouldn't. So I will draw a card here. Not a bad draw. Not bad either. So now we might want to think about sending this Rampager in. I'll continue to leave these Siphoners back to block, but I do want to start getting some damage in here. I'm fine if this Rampager trades for 2 threats, or 2 bodies. Try to clear the way a little bit for Hydra and whatnot. It is interesting to note that we don't have many ways of killing a Rampaging Frostodon game 1. Like, if you can turn on Revolt, you have Fatal Push, but other than that, it's just like Hostage Taker and like spending a bunch of counters on a Walking Ballista, both of which aren't great options. So like, especially on the draw, that card can be a problem. Like here I think we'll be okay. But if he'd been on the play this game, it might be a different story. another interesting difference between this deck and Jerry's is that he's playing Die Young in the sideboard, specifically for the mono red matchup, because that's just a cheap interaction spell and a way to also handle Hazoret, because it kills stuff in the form of -1/-1, so you can actually get around the indestructible. We're not playing that because we're playing the Rampager instead, and we had to cut it to make room. I figured that was a fine trade-off because Die Young only came in this matchup anyway, as far as I know. I think I will draw another card with the Siphoner, because I am still kind of trying to dominate this board, but I will say no to this one. Constrictor is interesting. Kind of a question of what I want to do here, actually. I can play Constrictor, and then I can... I mean, I was going to say I could get tricky with the Rampager and just try to bounce it over and over, but when he's got a Ferocodon, that's not a great idea. So maybe I just want to send again. He's holding up some mana suspiciously as well. Let's try to clear away some of this board. Okay, he just wants to double up on my Hydra. That's fine, I'll let that trade happen. You will be able to start unearthing those pretty soon though, but I have some jump blockers for the foreseeable future. I think I'm just going to go Constrictor plus Rampager, which will drain my energy reserves, interestingly. What is this? Shock. Okay. So like I was saying, what I could consider doing here is floating mana, which would put me down to 1 energy, and then Rampager would go back to my hand and put me up to 3 energy. And then I can replay it, so the net result is I'd have 1 extra energy, but I'd be down a life because of the Ferocodon, so I don't think I actually want to do that. I think I have enough colored mana to function with what I have right now. Doesn't look like he has any haymakers in his hand at least. No Hazarets or Chandras or anything like that, or he would have played them already. Probably going to empty his hand here and then use the Bomat Courier if I had to guess. Though he might choose to unearth Earthshaker Kenra. If he does that, we might have to make some unsavory blocks. Looks like that's what he's doing. Good news is we do have enough pressure to deal with what's happening here and try to close this game out quickly before he overwhelms us, because he does have the inevitability here. Oh, he's just not going to do anything else. Okay. Makes sense, because now 4/4 blanks most of my board. Ooh, that was a good draw, though. Let's play that. This might be a good turn to just start sending with everybody. Oh, he just concedes on the spot. I don't know if I would have done that if I were him, because that game was not over, I don't think. Just would have forced him to start trading, and I don't know. Anyway, I do think we were in good position there, but only slightly. Not worthy of him conceding, but you know. Alright, anyway, gotta make some changes here. Definitely want to cut all of my Siphoners now. And then I want to bring in like some mixture of these. I think Jerry cuts 1 Hostage Taker. And this is what his configuration looks like post-board, more or less. Just he has Die Youngs and we have Rampagers, both of which do kind of similar things. Everything else looks pretty good. Don't want to bring in negates or anything. On the play, I actually kind of like Jerry's sideboard plan when you're on the play, is you trim on Fatal Push and bring in Essence Scatter, because their plan on the draw is generally to go bigger with like Chandra Glorybringer, rather than play a bunch of threats that die to Fatal Push, because you generally blank that plan. I think I still want to keep him in on the draw though, just to be mana efficient. Even though I think in general his plan is going to be to go over the top. So I do want to be mindful of that. But I will keep it like this, I think, for now, on the draw. Jerry's build also has one extra land, which doesn't make a huge difference, but when we are bringing in 2 Scarab Gods, that is notable. Because we're not as guaranteed to hit our 5th land drop on time. Or apparently our 1st land drop on time, judging by this hand, but we'll mulligan this one. It's funny, if I knew there was like a Blooming Marsh on top of my deck, this hand would be a snap keep. Kept. Ugh. I don't know about this one. I think I have to throw it back. It's too risky. Alright, I keep this. Ballista can stay. I am still going to want to draw some lands at some point, but... Ooh, this actually might work out pretty well for us. Go ahead and take care of that. I'll wait 1 turn, see if he plays something else worth killing. It's unlikely though. I guess technically the correct play is to kill it with the trigger, the attack trigger on the stack. Just to get a free exiled card off his library. Not that it matters. We're not going to win by decking. Just a funny side note. Could also take 1, because if he plays a Karizev post-combat, I'm going to want to kill that instead, so I think I will actually do that. Oh, we just... okay. That plan didn't work out. Hopefully we don't die at 1 life. Him holding up mana makes me nervous as well. So I actually don't know if I want to play this Constrictor, even though it would be the correct play. Go into second main phase just to see if he was F6'd. I wish I had some energy reserves. I think I'm actually going to play this Rampager. If I draw a Forest, next turn I can go Constrictor plus Rampager. This protects me from an Abrade or a Lightning Strike, even though it doesn't get me on the board this turn. Don't know if it's correct, but it makes sense to me to not just run out my Constrictor when I know it's going to die. It's not great. Now I kind of have to play my Constrictor just to use my mana efficiently. That Ferocidon's going to go to town on me though. I don't think I'm going to be able to beat it this game on a Mold of 5. Because now my Constrictor is most likely going to get shot down. We're behind on board, Andy has an active Ferocidon. And we're a little mana screwed. I'm considering conceding here, because I actually don't see a way out of this. Like, I can't do anything meaningful this turn. I can play a Rampager to lose 1 life. Just to get an energy. That's just so poor. If I had a Fatal Push in hand, maybe that would have been good, because that would be a way to trigger Revolt and kill that Ferocidon. But we're already at 10, and he hasn't even deployed the full extent of his hand yet. Yeah, this is awful. Yeah, this game's over. Okay, well that didn't go as planned, but we'll try out this sideboard configuration that Jerry suggested, which is to trim on Fatal Push and bring in Essence Scatter on the play, which is an interesting move. And then we could also consider bringing the Hostage Taker back in, taking out like a Scarab God, just because he's more likely to have premium threats that we want to take out with it, like those Ferocidons and Glorybringers and Hazarets. So those are the most likely way we lose. And on the play, we're more likely to deploy it in a timely fashion and be able to protect it. in general, I feel like if we just get like one unmolested turn in this matchup, we're pretty favored. Just have to not mulligan a bunch. Alright, this hand's actually pretty good. Though I would like to draw another land in order to fully realize its potential. But we get to go Attune into Constrictor, or potentially just Attune into Rampager. Probably Constrictor first, though. He also mulligans, so that's some good news. Although, when they're playing Hazoret, sometimes mulliganing is not such a bad thing for them. He went to 5. He says LOL. That, I guess, is not good news for him. Alright, he seems a little tilted. Ooh, Botanical Sanctum is interesting. I'm actually going to keep that on top, and then not cast this Attune with Aether, which is pretty funny. He put it on top as well. So now my plan is going to be turn 2 Attune for Swamp, play the Botanical Sanctum, use it to cast the Greenbelt Rampager. Following turn I can either go Rogue Refiner or Constrictor plus hold up Blossoming Defense. Yeah, Botanical Sanctum is actually the exact card I wanted to see on top there. So let's Attune for Swamp. Play this Rampager. So it is worth noting, if he attacks here, that because of the wording on the Soulscar Mage, we actually can't get a 2-for-1 by blocking. Because if that would shrink this in combat, so I'm actually going to take the damage. But next turn we can blow it up with Blossoming Defense. He's just going to spend an Abrade, that's fine. Alright, so now we'll just play Constrictor. Hold up this Blossoming Defense. Maybe it was correct to play the Rogue Refiner there to guarantee that I can use all my mana. That was probably correct, actually. Yeah, because now I'm just going to be tapping out for Rogue Refiner anyway. Oh, maybe that's not true. Let's chip in for 2, play another Constrictor. The only card I don't want to see here is Hazoret. But I think we can beat it, even if that is what he has. Yeah, like I said, like even when that deck mulls to 5, sometimes that's like a good thing for them, which is funny to say. Alright, I'll jump. So we are in race mode now, which is not really where I want to be at this stage in the game. We're not quite as developed as I'd like to be in this board state. And I'm lagging a little bit. By a little bit I mean a lot. Ooh, that was a very good draw. He only has 1 card in hand, so question is it worth it to play Refiner, try to find my 5th land first, so that I can save my Hostage Taker to protect it with Blossoming Defense? I think that's actually worth doing for 1 turn. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me, though. I will send in with my Constrictors, because I do still think I need to race here. I'm going to have to take a hit from Hazoret, but for the rest of the game I'm going to have to either chump it or try to deal with it somehow. Might be out of resources though, at least that's the hope. Okay, there we go. So let's first see if it resolves, or if he tries to do something with it to mess with combat in any way. Or if he like throws something with Hazaret in response. Looks like that's what he's doing. Yep. Right, so he's out of cards, so that's good news. How aggressive do I want to be from here? Don't want to get too crazy. Probably just send with the 2 constrictors, I think. I'll leave back a couple blockers. And send with Rogue Refiner. I don't really want to trade it off for a Soulscar Mage, though. This makes sense to me. So now I think the only card that gets him out of this is Glorybringer. Okay, and he just doesn't have anything. Well, we're just chugging right along here. I have 1 match left in the league. I'm actually 4-0 in this league. I didn't record the first match. But I guess we're going to go for a 5-0 now.